are why I do this. You are why I fight. Do not give up on anything. This is not the end.
That's the immediate reaction from Russellville High School science teacher Chance Duncan after losing his job last night. That's where we start tonight at 6. I'm Rolly Hoyt.
And I'm Faith Woodard. The decision coming more than 4 hours after the hearing began, with 5 members of the district board voting for his termination. Now, they argue he violated the district's licensed personnel social networking and ethics policy because the post caused a disturbance in the community.
But Duncan says he had no idea that the post he had made about the assassination of Charlie Kirk had spread around. He and his attorneys argued that a different policy would allow political activity as long as it doesn't cause a disruption. They also argue that the overwhelming support from some parents in the district should count for something. Today, another board member not present last night announced that they are resigning after the decision.
Well, nobody likes bills. I certainly don't, but at least we usually know how much they're going to be so we can prepare.
However, tonight, some utility customers in Benton say lately that hasn't been the case. THV11's Carter Thweet talks to them about what is going on.
According to the Environmental Protection Agency, the average American family of 4 uses around 12,000 gallons of water per month. That's why when Craig Toll of Benton saw May's water bill for the house he shares with his mother, he was shocked.
We were sitting at the kitchen table and it said that she used 50,517 gallons of water.
That's almost 40,000 more than the rough estimate for a family of 4, let alone a 2-person household. Toll's first thought? Maybe there's a leak, so he had a plumber come over.
He was telling me that visually you should be able to see that amount of water. It's a ridiculous amount. He walked through, he checked everything, my spigots, my appliances, my toilets. I didn't have a leak anywhere.
The next month's bill showed about half that, still more than 20,000 gallons. Facing the high prices, Toll's mother made a Facebook post about the bills. Hundreds commenting with tales of similar situations, including Bree Reynolds.
This year we've had consistently like upwards of $300 to $400 bills, and it's just me and my husband in the home.
I reached out to Benton Utilities, where Toll and Reynolds are customers. The general manager told me that leaks or sprinkler systems can often be the culprit and recommends folks check their hourly usage to see what may be causing the spike.
We're not like sitting in there for like an hour flushing our toilet repeatedly or anything. And when we had plumbers out before, there were no noted issues that they found.
Whatever the cause, the high prices do start to take a toll.
On the Benton Utilities app, it said that my bill is 80% higher this month than it was last year.
It was over a $500 bill on the first month. Now, given the late fees and everything else, it just adds up from there.
In Benton, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Toll says he also filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office. Benton Utilities says they're aware of that and the social media posts, and they feel confident that they're serving their customers to the best of their ability. And in Maumelle, Central Arkansas Water is asking some of its customers to boil water after a main break this morning near Murphy Drive. They cut off water to some areas to make repairs, and it's impacted about 200 customers. They expected those repairs to be done by 11.
We have enjoyed some really nice weather for late September, although temperatures a little bit on the warm side for this time of year. Right now it's 81 in Clinton, 82 in Hot Springs, 79 in Stuttgart, and 82 in Pine Bluff. But you step outside, it is feeling good out there because we've gotten rid of the humidity. The dew points have gone from the 60s yesterday and dropped down into the 50s. So high school football games, it'll be marvelous weather all across Central Arkansas. Here's the game of the week. Morrilton taking on Greenbrier, 77 for the kickoff at 7 o'clock. Those numbers will slide down into the 60s going into the fourth quarter. Lows tonight to begin your Saturday. We'll wake up with numbers primarily into the 50s, but we'll heat things up. Lots of sunshine is on tap, and the temperatures will warm up into the mid 80s across the board. I'll let you know what to expect for Sunday and what you can expect for the rest of the new work week coming up.
Nathan, thank you. Tonight, a Searcy County man is headed to prison after convictions on 9 counts of rape. A jury in Marshall found 67-year-old Stephen Treat guilty after 2 days of testimony, all after a woman accused him of raping her on numerous occasions from 2012 through 2022 as she was a minor. Each count carries a life sentence. Meanwhile, Attorney General Tim Griffin says a woman in Little Rock has pleaded guilty to Medicaid fraud. His office announcing the 30-year-old Amisha Burt's 6-month jail sentence has been been suspended, but she will have to pay a $500 fine plus court costs and another $752 to the Arkansas Medicaid program. Burt worked as a caregiver. She claimed to provide services to a patient while they were in the hospital. Those services were never provided.
At the state capitol, Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders said the special election to replace the late Gary Stubblefield will take place on the same day as other votes next year.
Yeah, and it will fill the now vacant state Senate seat in District 26. Not everyone's happy about this. Rather than rush to temporarily fill the vacancy in time for next year's fiscal session, district voters will instead make their choice in the normal primary on March 3rd and then in the general election on November 3rd.
So far, 3 candidates have announced intentions to run. Former state rep Mark Berry, along with Brad Simon and Ted Treat. Those 3 all Republican candidates, and even though no Democrats announced bids, the party chairman says there are potential challengers.
We have a lot of folks that are there that we have talked to about their interest in potentially running, and talented, committed folks that would be fantastic public servants. They're not ready to make an announcement yet, but what we see is that this Senate race is going to be a referendum on that Franklin County prison.
The outgoing senator, or the former senator, the late Gary Stubblefield, was opposed to citing the Franklin County prison there in his district. A subcommittee of lawmakers have also discussed 2 requests that would add 7 law enforcement roles to state parks and the Heritage and Tourism Department. The proposal follows the double homicide at Devil's Den State Park back in July and the security questions it prompted. A committee approved an item that reinstates a role for a park sergeant. They hadn't been filling it for several years. Another item would have added 5 park ranger roles and an additional sergeant role into parks, but the lawmakers didn't vote on that. They instead declared the request reviewed. They'll decide on it later.
Well, there's no place like home, but when your loved one is admitted to the hospital, you have to take and make temporary plans. For some, that involves a lot of time traveling and money spent on hotel stays, but that's where the Fisher House comes in. Today, the Central Arkansas Veterans Healthcare System held a ceremony to dedicate the state's first Fisher House. This will be home away from home for families and caregivers of hospitalized veterans.
It means families can remain together, free of charge, while their loved ones receive the care that they've so significantly earned in selfless service to the greatest nation on earth. It means children won't be separated from their parents, and spouses won't be left worrying miles away.
16 families can stay at the Fisher House at once, keeping them close to their loved ones when they need care.
It is the first week of conference high school football play all across the state tonight.
And THV 11's Nick Luttrell joins us now from our game of the week in Greenbrier, where the Panthers are hosting the Devil Dogs of Morrilton.
Hey, Nick, what can you tell us about the games that viewers can expect to catch up with you guys tonight at Friday Night Blitz?
Well, yeah, guys, it is a game of the week that we love to see and we love to cover because it's one that should provide a lot of highlights. It's 2 of the top offenses, not just in the Class 5A, but maybe in the state between Greenbrier and Morrilton. For the Panthers, that starts with Enoch Hassan, the fantastic running back who rushed for over 2,000 yards last season. For Morrilton, that's quarterback Maddox Berry. That's one of the many games that we're covering tonight on the Friday Night Blitz, as well as Cabot and Little Rock Christian in the Class 7A. Marion and Sylvan Hills. We'll see if the Bears can continue to dominate once conference play starts. Bryant at Little Rock Central, Hot Springs, Parkview, see if the Patriots can rebound after a tough non-conference. BB Maumelle in the Class 5A, and then a top 10 matchup in the Class 6A with Benton and Jonesboro. And then, of course, as I mentioned, our game of the week here tonight with Greenbrier and Morrilton. We'll see if the Panthers can submit themselves as one of the best teams in the Class 5A here tonight. We'll have more about this game and about the big game tomorrow between Arkansas and Notre Dame coming up a little bit later in sports.
All right, Nick, thank you. We've also got a big game set for tomorrow up in Fayetteville between the Razorbacks and the Fighting Irish, and a historic first visit to the Hill that has fans excited. We've got video from earlier today at Northwest Arkansas Airport, people starting to fly in, some immediately going to volunteer at a local food bank in Springdale. And now that they're working in service, they're hoping the Fighting Irish can steal away a win against the Hogs. A little later, VIP members of the Notre Dame Club of Arkansas will get an exclusive reception at Pinnacle Country Club. They'll get in contact with Notre Dame football icons like Coach Lou Holtz, who of course also coached the Hogs. One fan talked about his special connection to the area.
My wife and I, first job out of college, I lived in Fayetteville, Arkansas for 3 years, so we haven't been back for 30 plus years, so we figured we'd come back, visit some friends, and watch a football game.
Sounds like a young person there was not excited about the game, but we have a reminder the game will kick off tomorrow at 11 Central Time.
A year after Hurricane Helene made landfall in the Carolinas, many are still recovering. The latest on recovery efforts from state officials after the break.
And if you're headed to the Razorback game in Fayetteville, tailgating weather. Temperatures in the 60s, blue skies. Temperatures will warm up into the mid-70s around kickoff, and then you may see a high around 80 degrees, but overall the weather will be perfect for the game. In the tropics, though, things are getting much more active, and we will likely have a new tropical storm in the near future, which may impact the United States. More on that coming up.